violent conflict in many parts of Africa are all real living tests of the AFSO, its practicality, and consequently its practical utility, effectiveness, efficiency in establishing peace and security in Africa. Number two is that given the political nature of the African Union, in terms of it's actually the final decision which is political and it's actually taken by the head of state. So the AU by its nature is a political institution. The intervention, and this is the key point because the case of South Sudan actually illustrates this very much. The intervention of the African Union in the different states in terms of helping it out to have peace and security has been at the level of the state. And they always avoid intervening into the lower side of the conflict or the issues, leaving it for the state. However, this is one of the weaknesses, I would say, for the AU, because while the AU is keeping away, major international global actors are actually involved directly at the root of the community. If you go to South Sudan now, it is a country almost driven by external actors and international NGOs. At the grassroots, African Union is not visible on the ground. I've been talking to the local people. They say we see UNIMES, we see European Community, we see UNICEF, we see UN, we see whatever, but we don't see AU. This is what they're saying. At the best, they will say we see EGA. So why the African Union is maintaining the level of interventions at the level of the state? Why the global actors are going deeper into our own states? To me, that is actually counteract the principle of AFSO. This is one of the major points. So the third point is that, which is actually connected to the first point, is that the visibility of the AU involvement in reconstruction or construction and development of post-conflict state is hardly evident, while other global actors are seen on the ground by local communities. This is the very point I was mentioning. If you go to Somalia, if you go to South Sudan, if you go to any post-conflict states, on the ground, development, the need of the people, AU is not there. It's not seen. And I'm emphasizing this point because local conflict cannot be separated from the national conflict. What happened now today in Sudan, in South Sudan today, it was brewed at the local level because before it was escalated into a national conflict, and then it goes again down into the local level. So they are inseparable, and therefore you cannot separate them in the policy making. The fourth point is that most of the post-conflict reconstruction, peace building, states are mostly externally driven. In fact, I would even say that African Union resources are externally driven again. We have not been able as African to mobilize the resources of establishing our own sovereign institutions, including AU. If you look into the detail of the AU programs, like continental early warning systems, like whatever operations, you will find that the resources are always thrown outside the country. And you could see that when they are external funded, they are also, you have to receive the package of some interest. You have to reconcile between your own interest and the giver interest. And in most cases, they can compete each other rather than supplement each other. Another point which I would like to mention briefly is the competition between Pan-Africanism paradigms, two competing paradigms. Continentalism versus global ethno-culturalism. Pan-African, and I was just coming last week from the 8th Congress of Pan-African Movement, where you could see this competition is very clear. African Union is adopting the first one, the continentalism, where all the African states who are in the continent, including everybody, are members. But when you study carefully that membership, there are competing interests. Africans are divided, moreover, between different sub-identities and belonging whose centers may be located elsewhere beyond their mother continent. And this again weakens the Africa quest for African unity, union, dilute sense of collective identity, and hamper of soul practice. The solution to the problem of peace and security designed by political institutions at the state level, as well as at the AU level, and the regional economic communities are not necessarily rooted and therefore are not inspired by local customs, wisdom, institutions, and philosophy of conflict resolution among African communities and their diverse social organizations. Although, if you read the documents of the African Union, they talk very the same language. But the gap between the theory and practice is huge. Is huge. And sometimes when I was doing this, I feel that when you go to the AU, at the level of the senior staff, below the politicians, that is the head of state, they are doing very, very good job. They are preparing good programs. They are suggesting very wonderful suggestions. Already we have, he was already mentioning some of the ideas which are going to the head of state. But they don't come back. That's the problem. So it's a problem of leadership, quality of leadership at the level of head of state. Let me say